if you want to get pregnant without losing your mind in the process, or you've been trying and wondering why it's not happening as fast as you thought it would, this video is for you. We're going to cover the exact things that actually move the needle when you're trying to conceive. And spoiler alert, it's not obsessively peeing on a stick. By the end, you'll know what really helps your body get baby ready naturally. And trust me, some of this might surprise you. Hi friends, I'm Lavi Re and I help women and doulas understand the body in a way that feels clear, doable, and honestly a little more fun than the internet makes it. We'll cover food, timing, stress, and not so obvious things that can either help or hurt your chances. Just grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's talk about things that actually make sense. So let's start with the basics, because understanding your cycle is like it's like having a GPS instead of wandering around fertility land with a broken compass. Here's what's actually happening in there. Your egg survives for about 12 to 24 hours during ovulation, and that's it. And that's kind of generous. Sperm, on the other hand, is just hanging around your reproductive system for days. Think of sperm as like a house guest that comes and stays for the long weekend. They show up early, they make themselves comfortable, they might eat all your snacks, and they just stick around for days, while the egg, on the other hand, is that friend who just pops in. She says, hey girl, how you doing? And then she's gone. The sperm come on Tuesday, she comes on Saturday, and they just don't ever cross paths. Nobody's meeting anybody. So when is the best time? It's gonna be 1 to 2 days before ovulation and the day of ovulation itself. So this just gives your long weekend guest sperm time to settle in and get ready for when the egg makes its very brief but demure appearance. Now, how do you know when you're ovulating? There are a few signs that your body's gonna give. First, cervical mucus changes. It becomes clear, stretchier, kind of like egg white. It's your body's way of creating the sperm superhighway, if you will. Now, your basal temperature is gonna shift after ovulation, raising about 1/2 degree, and there are tracking apps that can help you predict this. But I just don't want you to become a slave to this. I've seen women turn their bedrooms into laboratories with thermometers, charts, apps, and more data than necessary. That level of obsession can actually work against you because stress and fertility are not friends. So the goal isn't to have more stress-inducing, scheduled, pressure-filled intercourse. It's about having it at the right time in a way that doesn't turn your relationship into a science experiment. Girls, quality over quantity. Your body knows what it's doing. We're just trying to work with it, not micromanage it. So next we're going to talk about food. What you eat is literally the building blocks for a potential pregnancy. Your body is constantly deciding whether conditions are good enough to support new life, and food is one of the main signals it uses to make that decision. So the key nutrients your body actually needs are folate, not just folic acid from a pill, but real folate from food. We're talking about leafy greens, asparagus, avocados, beans. Iron is crucial too, especially if you have heavy periods. So spinach, pumpkin seeds, even dark chocolate. Yes, that counts as a health food in this context. So you're welcome. Omega-3 fatty acids, they are premium food for your reproductive system. So if you eat fish like salmon, that is fantastic. Walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, all of these are going to be your friend. And then high quality protein. So think eggs, nuts, fish, anything that works for your lifestyle. And there are some superfoods that actually taste really good. So I love spinach and arugula, berries of all kinds, avocado, which is like nature's butter, salmon, walnuts for those omega-3s, and of course, like I said, beans for protein and fiber. One thing I would say is you do want to cut back on your caffeine or coffee. Now, we are talking moderation. So if you are having a hard time eliminating, you really want to cut back on that, because you are prepping your body. Think of it like prepping your guest room. You don't need to be all HGTV with it, with matching throw pillows and a welcome basket, but honey, at least make the bed and light a candle. Your body doesn't need perfect nutrition, but it does need to feel like you're taking care of it. Now, the science behind this is actually pretty fascinating. What you eat signals to your body whether you're in a good place to support new life or if you're barely hanging on. So extreme dieting, for example, can actually shut down your ovulation because your body thinks there's a famine. On the other hand, eating in a way that stabilizes your blood sugar, provides key nutrients, tells your body that we're good here, we can handle this. I know that everyone tells you to just relax and it'll happen. And if relaxation were really that easy to achieve, I'm sure they would be selling it in the grocery store. But really, chronic stress produces cortisol, and cortisol and fertility hormones are basically frenemies. They compete for the same building blocks in your body. So when you're stressed, your body prioritizes survival over reproduction, which makes perfect sense, but it is incredibly frustrating when you're trying to get pregnant. And this doesn't mean that you quit your job or you move to a meditation retreat. It just means finding realistic ways to tell your nervous system, we're okay here, we're safe. Besides peace of mind, we definitely want to add some exercise into there. Moderate walking, yoga, strength training, swimming. All of these are perfect for fertility, circulation, reducing stress hormones, and just helping your body function well. So I don't want you to do intense workouts because that can mess with your ovulation. Your body might feel like it's under stress and dial down, but you do want to add some movement into your life. Another thing you want to prioritize is your sleep. Poor sleep disrupts your cycle and affects your egg quality, and it just makes everything else harder. So if you're staying up on your phone till midnight, wondering why your hormones are a mess, honey, there is your answer. You're gonna need 7 to 8 hours of sleep nightly. And if you can't get it at night, go ahead and try to catch a nap during the day. Now, I know that stress management is hard for people, so besides sleep, think about journaling your thoughts on paper, laughter, watching funny videos, call a friend who cracks you up, meditation, reading your Bible, prayer, going for a walk. Short walks, especially outside, are like reset buttons for your nervous system. So taking a short walk outside actually improves circulation, it helps lower cholesterol, it helps regulate your blood sugar, and also helps with vitamin D production. And here's a big one, learning to say no to things that drain your energy. The point is that stress will definitely prevent pregnancy, so find the things that help your system calm down and make them non-negotiable parts of your routine. All right, now let's address the elephant in the room. Sometimes, despite doing everything right, things take longer than expected or need some extra help. And this isn't about fault or failure, it's about understanding what might be going on. Age and egg reserves are real factors. This doesn't mean that pregnancy is impossible. It means you might want to be more strategic about timing and consider talking to your doctor sooner rather than later. Hormonal issues can throw a wrench in the works, and women with PCOS often have irregular periods or miss their periods altogether. Thyroid problems, both overactive and underactive, can impact fertility hormones. And the good news is that it is treatable, but you have to know that they're there first. Environmental factors actually have more of an impact than we realize. Smoking is obviously a no-go. It affects egg quality and speeds up ovarian aging. Heavy alcohol consumption isn't doing you any favors either, but there are other subtle things too, like plastics, especially when heated. They release chemicals that can disrupt hormones. You also want to consider staying away from heavily fragranced products. The combination of these chemicals and stress can impact your ability to get pregnant. So you want to make sure that you're stacking the deck in your favor as much as you can. So if you've been trying to get pregnant for 12 months, or you're under 35 and you've been trying for 6 months or more, contact your doctor. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong, but it means that getting some baseline information can help you make informed decisions about the next steps. And the bottom line is, whatever you're doing for your body, your partner also needs to be doing for his body, because he is 50% responsible for your baby and your pregnancy as well. So I really want you both to work together on nourishing your body with real food, managing stress in a realistic way, and be aware of factors that may be working against you. You two can take a walk in the afternoon or in the evening every day together and talk about what you need to do in order to make sure that you are both in optimal health in order to get pregnant. And sometimes you just need a little support, a little timing, and a little patience. You don't have to become someone completely different or overhaul your entire life. Sometimes it's just the small changes that you can stick with that are more important than those dramatic changes that will stress you out and really just won't last. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, there is no shame in asking for help, whether that's from a doctor, a counselor, a friend who can listen, or a doula who can give you really good advice. Focus on what you can control, release what you can't, and trust that your body knows what to do with the resources that you are giving it. And if you want a place where all of your questions about fertility, pregnancy, and even postpartum get answered, and not just answered, but explained in a way that makes sense for your real life, I've got something exciting in the works. I'm starting a brand new community for moms and doulas where we'll cover topics just like this one, but in a more detailed way. So we'll dive deeper into cycle tracking, nutrition for each phase of your cycle, what to do if you suspect hormonal issues, and how to navigate fertility challenges without losing your mind, and just so much more. It's going to be the place where you get real science-based information without the fear-mongering or the overwhelm. So the link to join the waitlist is in the description below, and I'd absolutely love to see you there. I cannot wait to continue these conversations with you in our community. Until then, take care of yourself, trust your body, and remember, girl, you got this.